So I got a new one I'm super excited about today for you guys. We got a Cadillac Cts-V 2009 on the lot with only 18,000 miles. Check this out. Absolutely gorgeous car. 2009 with only 18,000 miles. I mean, there's not enough good things to say about this car. In my opinion, it's Cadillac at their best in regards to performance and the perfect mixture of performance and comfort. Open it up here for you. And whoever had this car took phenomenal care of it. I mean, the seats are beautiful. The door panels are perfect. Back seats in great shape. Sunroof's in great shape. The car even smells good. So let's take this guy out for a spin. Get the seat adjusted here. I love the gauge clusters on these guys. Let's see what happens when we start it up here. That sound is just great. Everything's in the right place. Let's see here. It's awesome. Alright, so the first thing I notice about this car, and the differences between this and the SS, is the sound. Now the SS sounded great, don't get me wrong. One of the reasons I liked it was because it had that classic, big engine Chevy sound. But this has that in spades. And comfort-wise, the seats in this are more comfortable than the SS. Now, the SS felt good and felt like it held you where it needed to be, but this is a Cadillac we're talking about. And, when it comes for comfort, a lot of people would say their Cadillac's unmatched. And in regards to this particular car, I tend to agree with them. This is an incredibly comfortable car for the amount of horsepower that we're kicking out. It's glued to the road. So this, we're rocking a, I believe, a 6.2 liter, 556 horsepower supercharged engine. And it does have the option for the tectonic shifting, the manual mode, but there's absolutely zero need for that for what I'm going to be doing today. We are missing the heads-up display. Now, it could be because it's a 2009, it just didn't have that option. But that's something I liked about the SS. But I mean, right now, cruising along at 55 miles an hour, and where it feels like we're stuck to the road. And it just goes. It felt like virtually no lag. And it just spools up and runs. But I mean, we know it can go fast. To be able to incorporate going fast with the handling and traction and comfort and throw a supercharger on top of all of it, it's quite an incredible car. The fact that it only has 18,000 miles on it, I mean, it's just now getting broken in. exhaust, which in my opinion isn't a bad thing, but when it comes to road noise, it's, even with this giant sunroof, it's really, really quiet. Or it could just be that it's all drowned out by the sound of the exhaust and the supercharger. But again, I'd rather hear that than road noise. But see, when I back off, let's drop it down here. So we're dropping down to 45. Hear a small rumble from the exhaust, but almost no road noise. I mean, it is a Cadillac. Again, the thing about it is when you're driving this car, maybe if you're a fanatic of Cadillac cars and you've driven a bunch of them, you would think, when Cadillac comes to mind, you'd think that of a sports car, of a fast car, of a powerful car. But me, I tend to think of comfort, not performance. This gives you ridiculous performance and comfort. They have a bunch of different modes here as well that you could switch into. I'm just in standard drive cruise along mode. I almost wouldn't want to switch to another one, just because I'm afraid that, I mean, being perfectly honest, it's a lot of car. I'm not familiar with the car, so I'd want to drive it for a week before I start playing around with switching it into manual and all the other modes that you can do with this thing. I was talking about this with the SS, how a lot of cars have bounce when you're going around corners. Especially if you're going downhill, they tend to want to move up and away from you. The SS did a great job of limiting that and eliminating that for the most part. But this is on a whole new level. So the Porsche Cayenne was an incredibly fast car, the GTS. I really enjoyed driving that. That did a great job for an SUV of eliminating that bounce and move away when you're cornering. SS did an excellent job as well. That was a car, so of course it was better than what you get with the GTS. As far as cars go and what I've driven, this gives you a ridiculous amount of confidence when it comes to cornering and handling. I feel like I can just accelerate in and out of every single corner and have no worries at all. You know, maybe a more experienced driver than myself could put it through better paces than I'm willing to do. That was weird. Would put it through better paces than I'm willing to do, especially when it's not my car. But from what I am willing to get it into here, it's magnificent. That supercharger, it sounds so good with the exhaust they have on this. It's an exceptional car. It's what a find. When Tyson bought this car, he texted me and said, "Hey, I just got a 2009 Cts-V with 18,000 miles on it," and I immediately knew that I was going to have to get this out. You know, I've been looking a little bit into him because I have a family member that has been, asking about him. So I've been checking him out and, keeping my eyes open for one and see if we got any on the lot. And then Tyson knew as well, so he knew to let me know when we got this one in. And from everything I've read, in 2009 they kind of dialed everything in and created an absolutely wonderful car. I did take in another 2014 SS with some upgrades to it, and good upgrades, not bad. The guy who owned it works with cars all the time, so he knew what he was doing when he was upgrading it. And he states, we haven't checked yet, but he states that he's pulling close to 600 horsepower with his SS. So we're gonna have to see. Oh, the phone mount is on my power button, so forgive me for grabbing at the phone right now. Sorry folks, we had to take a little break right there. My phone mount actually accidentally shut off my phone, so kind of got you to where a camera angle too, but we will make do. Now there is a difference in the way this drives as well. So driving the SS, I consistently felt like the car wanted me to get into the pedal to jump up. This, the CTS here, like I can cruise, and it takes away some of the aggressive driving feeling, the want to drive aggressively that I felt with the SS. The car actually seems happy just cruising. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that. You know, especially if it's gonna be a daily driver. I don't want to feel like the car is constantly pushing me to get into the throttle. I don't know enough about cars to know if that's just based on how it's geared, how it's tuned, or what. But I like that. Just as happy cruising along at 40 miles an hour as it does when I was getting into the throttle a little bit earlier. I like that. But I also like the fact that I have 500 plus horsepower whenever I want it. And with an inch on the throttle, it can completely change your driving experience. And, you know, back off when it speed limit drops to 35 and cruise along. Trying to take a look at the buttons here. So here's my traction control. Oh, there we go. StabiliTrak competitive mode. So you have 3 different modes. You have your standard driving mode, traction control on, which is what I'm on right now. You have traction control off, and then you have StabiliTrak competitive mode. Now, I believe that is just going to be adjusting your traction. So, me thinking that it's going to have anything to do whatsoever with how the car drives and feels in regards to wanting to go fast, and the car constantly wanting you to accelerate. You know, I'm seemingly way off in that regard, but it definitely does. With the push of a button, you can get into StabiliTrak competitive mode, which is kind of cool. Need to learn what that does. As far as fast vehicles, big engine vehicles, this is the most comfortable I've driven. There's an argument that the SS is as fun or more fun, just due to the fact that the cars constantly want you to to drive it fast and drive it hard, where this one feels like it can cruise more. But you're going to be infinitely more practical in a car that doesn't mind kicking back and cruising along nice and smooth at 45 miles an hour. So, you know, the Porsche Cayenne's in a whole other ballpark. It's an SUV that is as fast as a lot of sports cars. You know, the GTS version that I drove. So it's functional and fast and comfortable. But I'm not going to pretend that that SUV is going to handle the way this Cadillac does. So you have my thoughts on the 2009 Cts-V with 18,000 miles that we have on our lot right now. You know how to get a hold of me. Facebook.com/Bob@Gamblins. Instagram.com/BobbyMart. Click on the links to the YouTube videos on my Facebook page, and please, 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 please give me a follow. I really need to get to 10,000 followers for some cool perks that YouTube gives me. And you want to take any of these cars on my videos out for a test drive, but we still got them, you can always pop into Gamblin Motors. I'm at the main lot. Come see me. Thank you, folks. Stay tuned. I'm going to keep showing you stuff that I think is pretty cool.